Hello YouTube. Well, so much political news. The country I've lived in for over 30 years is coming apart. Article 50 is going to be activated in 8 days. There's plans for a Scottish referendum. Northern Ireland may have a border poll. The Unionists have just lost their majority. What the hell's wrong with our country? I think I found 4 crucial reforms which need to be taken. Because, believe it or not, I don't actually want the UK to be destroyed. It's just, I think it needs to be punished for Brexit. I think other countries need to see what happens when you try and resist globalisation, which cannot be done unless you de-invent the telegraph. Anyway, stop bouncing around. I'm moving the screen too much. Here are 4 basic reforms Britain needs to do. First of all, this is hardly original. We need to get rid of first past the post. In the 17th and 18th centuries, it was fine. You had no communication technology like we do now. You had to rely on horse and cart and roads, but today we need PR. Yes, it may take longer to count the votes, but it produces coalition governments. Sometimes it can take a month for these governments to form, but it's better than having one party in charge. When the Liberals and Conservatives were in coalition, the Liberals were a check against the Conservatives. They were much better. David Cameron was a much better leader when the Liberals were there to keep an eye on him. And if we have proportional representation, in case you don't know, that means 1% of votes means 1% of the seats. Well, first past the post, you have, instead of a general election, you have 650 local elections at once. And if a party comes second in every seat, they get nothing. No matter how much. No matter how many votes they have. If we had PR, we wouldn't need the House of Lords anymore. I'm still in favour of abolishing the House of Lords, but only if we have PR, because the House of Commons without the House of Lords to keep an eye on it would be a nightmare. Number 2. When parties select a leader, it has to be the MPs that select the leader, not party members. UKIP and Labour allow their party members to pick the leader, and we have been presented with idiots like Paul Nuttall and Jeremy Corbyn, who are causing immense damage. Now, I don't much care that UKIP is dying, but the Labour Party dying would be a tragedy, after all the good work it's done. And Ed Miliband made a fatal mistake replacing the old system, which I still don't agree with. A third of the votes came from MPs, a third from trade unions, and another third from party members. But at least it was better than having one member, one vote, which is what brought us Corbyn twice. Number 3, pay MPs a proper wage. We think they're paid a huge amount. They're not. 75 grand a year is not much for the amount of responsibility they have. They do have massive expenses, which is a leftover from the time before 1911, when they were paid nothing. Let's get rid of their expenses. Pay them a fair wage. And the fact they're not paid enough, that's why Tristram Hunt went to become director of the Victoria and Albert Museum. That's why another Labour MP went to work in Sellafield. MP is just not a good job anymore. Of course, George Osborne's cheated. He's become editor of the Evening Standard as well as being an MP, and 4 other jobs in addition. But the fact is, you have a lot more power as editor of the Evening Standard than you do as some MP. Which brings me on to the 4th and most important point. Newspapers must be impartial. Same as TV and radio. It's why we need Leveson Part 2. Probably Parts 3, 4 and 5, to be honest. Because we are not a democracy. We are run by the 5 press barons. Rupert Murdoch, Paul Dacre, Richard Desmond, and the Barclay twins. They're responsible for Brexit. They're responsible for us not being in the euro. They're responsible for the foot and mouth crisis. I'm not saying they caused the disease, but they caused panic over it. And worst of all, the MMR scandal. So many kids getting measles unnecessarily because of the Daily Mail hyping up a tiny, fraudulent experiment. Right, that's the rant over. I'm Edmund West. See you later, YouTube. Bye-bye.